Let me try intuitive surgical. That sounds like it'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know what's going on at market, but it definitely doesn't look good. The energy drink market. All right, so Intuitive Surgical has a 212 billion market cap, making it arguably the biggest medtech company in the world. It's pretty wild. So this is a robotic surgery company that's not that old.
Order filled.
It's amazing how much this little robot surgery company could do. That's my love. I still love you. I can't play with you all the time. I just can't. I don't have the time to play with you all day. I know you're bored. Oh, it's a little kitty. I love this little kitty. She's just meowing. She's whacking her tail around. I think she's very bored. And the other cat doesn't want to play with her. The other cat just wants to sleep all day. Oh, they're intuitive now. They're no longer intuitive
Order
surgical.
partially filled. Order filled.
Okay. So they make more money from the instruments than the machines themselves. Interesting. I think I knew that, but I forgot. Any surgeons in the house? or somebody who works at a hospital that's seen one of these bad boys. Are they cool? Okay, so revenue growth accelerated for these guys. It was actually kind of in the doldrums for a little bit. So I wonder what got revenue growth to accelerate again. It's fairly atypical, but it's happened before. We can think of a few companies like that, maybe Facebook. Once growth starts to slow, it's usually over. But the Intuitive story has been a very peculiar one in general. Oh, I gotta take this. Hey! Sorry about that. Yeah, so what a crazy stock. It's 8 billion in revenue. Okay. It's 25 times revenue? Does that sound right? The hell? Hey yo. Am I missing something? Like there's a stock split? What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? I mean, they just had a growth problem 2 years ago. Stock splits are very optical. They don't really do anything practical. They're somewhat designed for retail investors, but even then, I'm not sure they have any practical effect anymore.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
That's the theory, but with fractional trading now, it's kind of a hard to, somewhat hard to. Yeah, I don't know about the options thing either. Yeah, I guess it can allow some. A company doesn't really care about its options liquidity. Doesn't help the company out. Yeah, why would they? Yeah, but if you're $1,000 stock, it's not because you're a shitty company. Maybe.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
Yeah, I just don't like shorting good companies. Palantir's a really good company. You don't know what's possible, what they're coming up with, and revenue can grow even faster. And then what do you do? If the revenue never grows again, never grows faster than it currently is, then I would agree. You have a decent reason to short it, but you don't know what they're up to. It's not a very transparent company. IonQ is not a good company, no. It's kind of the opposite of a good company. The whole point about management is that management takes the company's capital and recycles it into high returning projects. And a really good management, take NVIDIA for example, the numbers of NVIDIA wouldn't necessarily have told you what was going to happen. that they would go into a hyper growth period. You had to understand the products, understand tech, understand a lot of things. Now, again, part of NVIDIA's success was an accident, and happy accident, of course, but it was also being prepared for the deep learning boom and creating a product for that marketplace, which was the server products. Those were really the first products to address that space in a dedicated way. And building the CUDA ecosystem for gaming allowed the CUDA ecosystem for deep learning to flourish. So great management still. But part of good management is when you take advantage of the opportunities that come your way by accident or unintentionally, however you want to say it. So, yeah, NVIDIA is well positioned for robotics, self-driving cars, AGI. There's a lot of things that are still on the table there. At the same time, some of these things may take years. Some of them may come tomorrow. We don't know. And that's why if you were at the forefront of things like robotics and what these machines can do or will do, and when they're going to come out, you could probably do really well with NVIDIA. But we don't necessarily know what's going to happen with robotics. Is that a 2025 thing or a 2026 thing, or is it more of a 2030 or 2035 thing? We just don't know. This is not an ASMR channel. Don't worry about my keyboard. Any old keyboard will do. I like the mechanical ones, but they're certainly not a requirement. All right, so this is interesting. So let's look at the last little while for this company. All right, so we got Q1 2020. Rapid growth here. They had 72% revenue growth, although that looked like a unusually bad time last time. So call that average 40%. Then, it's kind of spotty after that. I mean, it was around 11% on average throughout 2023. And now you've had a last quarter 25% revenue growth. So accelerated quite a bit there. But not really clear. Let's see if they give guidance. Not really that clear what is substantiating the gigantic valuation. Could it be a new product? Could it be what exactly? It's a Philco Magis Touch 3. I think it's brown. Intuitive Surgical, ISRG. Do I not have it up there? Yeah, it's on my screen. I'm just gonna grab some cold water from the fridge. I'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. Are you looking at the right ticker, PHAR? Yeah, it's only traded 1,000 shares today. That's annoying. There's farming in Netherlands. That one trades more. That traded 3 million shares today. But, you know, you have to go over to Netherlands to trade it. What I would do is I would look at the Netherlands stock and convert it, and then usually a market maker will trade with you at the like euro equivalent. But yeah, I think it might also be smart to ignore the US stock and just do. Okay, so let's look at the annual revenue growth rate picture for Intuitive. You know, it's been a really solid company. 2 billion, 2.7 billion, 3.1, so 16%, then to 3.7, 19%, 4.5, 20%. They had one down year in 2020, where they're down 3%, but rebounded quite strongly there, 31% revenue growth to 5.7 billion. That was 2021. Then to 6.2 billion, only 9% revenue growth there. 2023, 14%, and 2024, 17%, jumping from 6.2 to 7.1 to 8.4. So average revenue growth rate over that period of 16%, really strong. Does that merit 20 times sales? Probably. It seems like it could all be priced in, but if they keep growing at something like that, you know, I think they'd. And the surgery market is enormous, right? So, you know, if they could keep growing at 15%, you'd be pretty happy to pay that kind of a multiple, because you'd end up with, you know, really big earnings number. But yeah, I agree, some of it's priced in for sure. Yeah, it's hard to get too much upside here, if any. They would have to start growing at 20% or something like that. It's a lot like Palantir in that sense, right? It's like, do you want to bet against the company that is doing this well? hoping that they stumble, but it gets more and more expensive as they continue to execute. So it's sort of implying that they will, it looks like the stock price is implying that they'll grow 20% for a little while there, which, high teens, like 18, 19%. And then, it's a curve that's implied. It's not just one growth number, right? So 15%. But you're basically trying to draw the implicit curve of what is implied by the marketplace. And that's, the stock market is sending you this kind of message. It's coded in math, but it's basically saying, okay, this is what I think is going to happen over the long run. And who knows, maybe margins can grow or something like that, but circular reference here. Yeah, so the market sort of feels like it'll grow 20%, which it's growing 25 right now. Then 15, then 10, and then slow to maturity, which is, quite reasonable. That is probably what's going to happen. So I don't see why, they're not going to go from 20 to 0. And if they go from 20 to 30, which they very well might, there'd be upside. So this looks like somewhat well-balanced on upside downside. There's some stories I just can't tell you. Let me read some of the other details about their products. I'm very curious. Too many details, but there's something called Ion. What is the Ion? The bronchoscopy. I wonder if that's what's growing. It's a lung biopsy. So this is for lung cancer. So that's innovative.
Living with opioid addiction can be a struggle, trapped in a cycle of opioid use, withdrawal, and cravings. Sublocade is...
What if you could extend your reach and advance your bronchoscopic capabilities? More than 70% of nodules for biopsy are far out in the peripheral lung. For those patients, doctors haven't had a first-choice technology to turn to, until now. Introducing Ion from Intuitive, the makers of Da Vinci robotic surgical systems. Ion is a robotic-assisted platform for minimally invasive biopsy. Its thin, maneuverable catheter and unprecedented stability can advance your bronchoscopic capabilities and extend your reach. Ion is flexible, allowing navigation far into the peripheral lung, Ion is precise, delivering accurate biopsies of hard-to-reach nodules, even outside airways. Ion is stable. Its unique sensing technology enables active control of the catheter position. It integrates seamlessly into your workflow and with other imaging technologies. To provide physicians with answers, to help patients, to have more impact. It's not just new technology. Ion can extend your reach. More precise, more flexible, for more answers.
You're gonna put that thing in my lung? What? Nope. Nope. I just want to try it out. Come here, kitty. Well, you need to know the EGFR and the ROS1 mutational status. What's the other ROS1 thing? ALK. You need to, I think you need a pretty good tumor biopsy. Yeah, so Da Vinci for what? Prostatectomy and stuff like that? But they do hysterectomy too, right? I think it'll be a while before OpenAI makes its own chips that are really great, but I'm sure it's a good idea. Meta's doing it too, I mean. I don't have a 5090 yet. I'm not sure. I don't play enough video games for it to be worth it. Isn't it almost all prostatectomy? What do these machines cost? Around $1 million, $2 million a pop? Maybe more, right? Prostatectomy. It's the removal of some prostate tissue. Prostate's quite small, so pretty good for a robot to do. Gotta have steady hands. Yeah, I like the implied DCF style. Again, being very generous with the terminal growth rate and the discount rate and the ROIC, but not being that crazy. I could adjust some of these. I mean, still roughly the same shit. think this future growth rate doesn't look that hard to do. I mean, they're a really compelling company. What do you guys think? Is that too much? 20% for the next 4 years, shifting down to 15%, then 10%, then 2%. That seems. No, I know, Andre. That's the whole idea, right? It is literally a device for improving
Order
surgeons.
partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled.
Well, ROIC is just something you're imagining. You know, is this a company that's going to grow
Order cancelled.
their business with new projects? Probably like Elon would have the highest ROIC. You know, in business school you learn ROIC versus WACC. But you know, companies like Procter and Gamble and Coca-Cola can actually measure
Order filled.
their expected return like very carefully, whereas it's kind of extremely hard to do as a big
Order
business.
filled.
You don't know if a big product's going to be a big
Order
product or not.
partially
It's kind of very hard to determine that.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled.
Haven't looked at Reddit in a minute, but I could take a glance
Order
at it.
filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order cancelled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order partially filled.
All right, just trying to short as much IonQ as I can. I missed the car trade. Central African Republic issued their own meme coin. How crazy is that? It's a real ass country. Okay, so next steps for Intuitive, just basically have to look into the products a little more. Is there a pipeline there? Did they rug it? If they rugged it, there should be sanctions. For rugging your meme coin.
We're placing sanctions on Central African Republic.
Mr. Trump, you rug us too.
I'm allowed to do it. It's different.
Mr. Trump. We need the proceeds from this rock. You do not need more money.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to be richer than Elon. Boy, that's a smart guy there, Elon. When it comes to computer,
There's not, what do you say? When it comes to computer, there's nobody better? I fucking love it.
when it comes to computer.
Fucking CNBC is useless.
The best. Some say the best. The best at computer. Tim Apple.
What a world.
Mad money. My Eagles won.
Larry Oracle. Insight reported. Okay, Intuitive's no debt, 8.8 billion cash. It's kind of funny. Abbott was founded in 1900. Becton Dickinson 1897. Take a guess. Intuitive Surgical 1995. My friend is their largest shareholder for a while. It was a reverse merger, actually.
The Super Bowl was rigged. Taylor Swift's unpopular.
Order cancelled.
I've considered a Carvana short, yeah. Yeah, I think the NIH thing's a mistake, but there's probably a lot of ways there too. I don't know. I'm not sure research overhead is a good idea. It's always been a little sus. I don't know about the Springworks deal. I assume it's real. These things are usually real. There's no Yay coin. There's some fake Yay coins. Okay, so we did IonQ. I'm sorry, we did ISRG. Got IonQ in the brain. For now, at least, a brief look. What do we look at next? There's some requests for Nike. Kind of a fun and different one to look at. I think Intuitive is fairly valued. I mean, it's not crazy, but it's obviously a crazy growth stock. 25 times sales. I did create Godel with my colleagues. Make sure you sign up and or subscribe. It's a great product.